So Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan are going to fight this Saturday. This is a very highly anticipated match. It's 6 years in the making. They fought once before in 2019, and it was on short notice. And that fight is my favorite fight in UFC history. It is, without a doubt, the best example of wrestling in MMA in the history of the UFC. By the end of this fight is so good. If you're a wrestler, a wrestling fan, by the end of it, you're going to be doing stance of motion. You're going to be practicing sprawls in your living room. If you're watching this, the first fight they had. There was takedowns, there was takedown defense, there was scrambles, there was judo sweeps, just like this one, where he sweeps the foot, lands right there, and he shows us all his butt. I'm going to leave this on there, so y'all got to watch it. I got to see this, you got to see it. How y'all like that?
What are you showing me? His head. Come on.
Arman Tsarukyan was the first person to ever take down Islam Makhachev in the UFC. In MMA, I think. You see that? Look at that. That's the first time Islam Makhachev, the best wrestler in the whole UFC, arguably one of the best wrestlers in the UFC, he got taken down. Arman Tsarukyan put the whole world on notice in this first fight. And it was on short notice. He came in on short notice. Arman was about 24 years old. Islam Makhachev was on a 4-fight winning streak. Everyone knew him from Khabib. He was supposed to fight someone else. Short notice fight. He had the flu. He was having a bad weight cut. You can see he's kind of pale in this fight. He said he was puking afterwards. He doesn't look himself. However, in this fight, even though it was razor thin, close, sharp, however you say that, dude, look at the stats, man. Yeah, he got the first takedown ever on Islam Makhachev, but it was 1 of 12. Islam Makhachev stopped 11 takedowns, and he got 4 himself. And he has 6 minutes of control time compared to Arman Tsarukyan's 1.5 minutes, roughly. Now, the striking was pretty even, but for him to do that on a Michael Jordan flu game, pretty much. First round was close. That was where Arman got the takedown. You see Arman scored more of the striking by 6. 6 strikes. What is that? Second round, Islam started to edge it out a little bit. And by the third round, it was all Islam Makhachev. And Islam ends up winning 30-27, 30-27, 29-28, unanimous decision. Okay? Now that fight, that was 6 years ago. Islam Makhachev, now he's the champion. Arman Tsarukyan, he's the #1 contender. Both fighters have gotten way better. But the question is, has Arman Tsarukyan improved enough to beat Islam Makhachev? And here's what I think. He's going to lose again, guys.
Come on now, dog.
Guys, he's going to lose again. I don't know how else to say this. Arman Tsarukyan's going to lose again. I know he's been training in the mountains. I saw that awesome documentary of him training in the mountains, training on Mount Elbaf or something. He was training in the mountains where Khamzat Chimaev trains. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Is he going to strike? Arman Tsarukyan and him were neck and neck in their striking. I will say that. But Islam Makhachev has improved his striking by leaps and bounds. He outstruck. If you watch the fight, the first Arman Tsarukyan fight, and then you watch Islam versus Dustin Poirier, these are two completely different Islam Makhachevs. Islam is way faster. He's way more precise. He's way more aggressive. He's way quicker. His instincts are way better. That's Dustin Poirier. That's the best boxer in the UFC. And if there's a second best boxer in the UFC, then it's Alex Volkanovski, am I right? And what did Islam do to him? So if Arman plans to strike with Islam Makhachev, I don't think he stands a chance, bro. And then what is he going to do? Is he going to wrestle? Okay, he's wrestling. Okay, he's training wrestling with Khamzat Chimaev. Wrestling with Khamzat Chimaev in the mountains with Khamzat's coach, with a legendary wrestling coach. Cool. Do you think 1 year of him doing that is going to make up for the lifetime that Islam Makhachev has spent training wrestling with Khabib, training MMA with Khabib? Islam Makhachev he's not even in the belt system in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He made Charles Oliveira the submission GOAT, the BJJ GOAT of UFC. He made him look like a white belt. And he stuffed 11 of 12 shots from Arman Tsarukyan. So what are we even thinking is going to happen here, guys? Unless Arman Tsarukyan had some miracle happen when in these mountains in the last 6 months. And unless Islam Makhachev comes in, what, is he going to come in with a flu? Is he going to come in with diarrhea? Bro, maybe if he comes in with one arm, maybe Arman Tsarukyan will have a chance. But bro, there's levels to this. I really, truly believe there's levels to this, and Arman and Islam are not on the same level.